Lennox Lewis's IQ is insane. Today we have a very special video because we're going over a game that was played by Lennox Lewis. He was a professional boxer and is a 3-time world champion, and he has also defeated Mike Tyson. And Lennox Lewis is just a very erudite man. Let's just get into the game. Lennox Lewis is rated 11-13 and his opponent is rated 18-16. This is David vs Goliath. And by the way, this is a 10-minute rapid game. So his opponent opens up with the move E4. We see D5. This is known as the Scandinavian defense. This is what the Vikings used to play. And after ED5, instead of taking back with the queen or even playing a move like Knight F6, Lewis just throws his first brutal punch of the game and it goes E5. So he's playing a gambit against someone who's rated 700 points higher than him. 700 points is a massive difference. White here can play a move called en passant and actually take here with DE6. So this move could have been played. However, this move is not played in the game. Instead, we see a novelty. We see the move Knight C3. So White here just trying to play conservatively. And here Lewis strikes again with Bishop B4, threatening to take this knight so then he can win this pawn. Notice how this knight is the sole defender of this pawn on D5. So if Lewis can exchange it, then he will win this pawn. And after this, Lewis's opponent defends his pawn again with Bishop C4 as there was a tactical threat of exchanging this knight. And we just see Bishop C3 anyway. Lewis decides to exchange this knight. Now, when you're playing with a gambit and you're down a pawn, you really want to try hold on to your bishops. We see DC3 and the move C6. So Lewis trying to play kind of another gambit, asking him to kind of take so he can develop with the knight. And also, if White were to take here, Black will be able to exchange queens and then White will have no castling rights. So instead of taking this pawn and letting Black exchange the queens and you have no castling rights, we see the move Knight F3. So Lewis's opponent is developing and also attacking this pawn on E5. Very nice stuff. Knight F6 is played, ignoring the threat of Knight E5, and Knight E5 is played. Now Lennox Lewis is down 2 pawns. However, his position is still very playable. He just castles here and threatening a move like Rook E8. So for that reason, White does the same and gets his king to safety, as king safety is the #1 principle in chess. If you lose your king, you simply lose the game. And you know, if you're 1800, I would probably expect you to know that rule. So just demonstrating his understanding of the game. And here Lewis has a good move. He can just play the move CD5, get his pawn in the center and attack this bishop. Instead, we see the move Knight D5. But to be fair to Lewis, his opponent exchanges with the bishop. So he's exchanged his opponent's bishop off. And Lennox continues CD5 and now the move Bishop E3. And you know, this position is fairly equal. Obviously, White has an advantage because he's up material, but Black also has some strong practical chances. Rook E8 is played, applying pressure to this knight, threatening to actually take it. For that reason, Knight F3 is played, and now Bishop G4. So Lewis is getting his pieces into the game, also pinning this knight. This knight cannot move anymore as it will simply lose the queen. And here we see Bishop D4, putting this bishop on this diagonal, and now Knight C6. So Lewis just developing his knight while also attacking this bishop. And the move Queen D3. So getting this queen out of the pin. Now this knight is free to roam as the queen will not be hanging. And now Lennox goes G6. Now the idea of G6 is probably to go Bishop F5 and just attack this queen. However, this move does come at the expense of weakening the dark squares. We see Rook A to E1. White wants to try and exchange some pieces. Knight D4 is played. Lewis exchanging the last bishop of White. And now Lewis is the only person with a bishop here. So we got a knight versus a bishop. Knight D4 is played. And after Knight D4, the move Queen C7 would be perfectly fine here, connecting these rooks, and also this queen will attack more dark squares and it will be an important piece. However, instead of going Queen C7, we see Queen G5, which allows White to play the really annoying Queen G3. Now here Lewis misses his first right hook. Instead of going H6, he goes H5. Now this move is a blunder, and we're going to see why after Rook E8 and Rook A to E8. Here we see H3. And now when this bishop moves, this queen is hanging. So you cannot move this bishop. Instead, Lewis plays Queen D2. This bishop was taken, takes, and instead of taking here, we see the move Queen D3. So White trying to be annoying, just trying to force queen exchanges. When you're up material in chess, if you get this in your own games, try and exchange queens. It normally works well. And that's what White is doing here. Now this queen retreats to H6. Queen B5 was played, but now we saw Rook E5. And after the move F3, you can try pause the video and find the move Lennox played to win the game. This move F3 is a complete blunder. So first of all, there is a couple moves, but the move that is probably the most simple is G3. And now there is a threat of Queen H2, but now we saw Queen B7, and here there is a checkmate in one with the move Queen H2, checkmate. So a very nice game by Lennox Lewis. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like these, like and subscribe. I've got a video right here I think you might enjoy. Thank you for your time and attention. It's greatly appreciated. Have a good day.